The 10 greatest engines of all time. The most powerful production engine is found in the Bugatti Chiron. The most fuel-efficient engine is found in the Volkswagen XL1. There are about 1.42 billion cars on the planet, but not all of them are truly reliable. Some of them are old and problematic cars that are difficult to start, while others can run for 1,000,000 miles. But what distinguishes all these cars from others? Why can one car barely survive its expected life cycle, while others seem to outlive their owners? A car's reliability depends largely on its engine. It all comes down to whether the engineers who designed the car's engine were able to do their job well and mitigate the stresses that arise during operation. If the engine can withstand heat, stress, and deformation, your car will serve you for many years. There are relatively few truly reliable engines in history. We have selected the 10 best engines of all time. Find out which car brands are the best at creating reliable engines. Our list does not necessarily include the most powerful or technologically advanced engines. We have selected those that have had the greatest impact on the development of the automotive industry. Volkswagen air-cooled 4-cylinder. During its impressive 70-year production run from 1936 to 2006, Volkswagen produced between 20 and 30 million of these small engines with their distinctive sound. The cars they powered revolutionized compact car manufacturing in North America. For example, the Volkswagen Beetle was the car that brought compact cars to the attention of the mass market. Ingeniously simple, these compact and lightweight engines can be repaired with basic hand tools, and spare parts are available worldwide. This includes Ukraine. Atlantic Express supplies any auto parts from the US, Europe, the UAE, China, and Taiwan to order. Jaguar XK Inline 6. An amazing engine made by Jaguar. This large unit was the brainchild of Sir William Lyons and William Haynes, who came up with the engine while sitting on the roof of a fire station as German bombs fell on Coventry. Thanks to this engine, Jaguar won no less than 5 victories at Le Mans between 1951 and 1957. It also powered Jaguar's most famous sports car, the unrivaled E-Type. Considering that the engine appeared during World War II, it is surprising that it remained in production for 43 years, until 1992. Chevrolet V8 engine. This small Chevrolet engine is a 100% American V8. Since its introduction in 1955, GM and its subsidiaries have produced more than 100 million small block V8 engines. This is the engine that powered the best-in-class Le Mans race cars, as well as bread vans, compact cars, sedans, pickups, and more. This engine was eventually replaced by the LS V8, but enthusiast demand for the engine remained, and you can still buy cars with this GM bestseller today at US auctions. Ford V8 engine. Ford Model T revolutionized the art of driving, and the Ford V8 engine was one of the main reasons for these changes. Introduced in 1932, it was produced in the US until 1953 and in German trucks until 1973. The Ford Flatty wasn't the first V8 or even the first mass-produced V8, but it was the first V8 that was available to the general public. The engine has a unique configuration that offers many advantages in terms of efficiency. The Duesenberg 8. The Duesenberg J can be nothing less than the greatest American classic car ever made. These majestic 2-ton locomotives, covered in chrome and lacquer paint, were the pinnacle of the automotive world when they were new. The Duesenberg car brand was created on the eve of the Great Depression, so it has long since faded into history. Between 1928 and 1937, the 6.9-liter engine was produced in 3 versions. The naturally aspirated version developed an impressive 265 horsepower. But Duesenberg also produced 36 supercharged cars with 320 horsepower. The top version of the car was the SSJ, of which only 2 were made. one for Gary Cooper and the other for Clark Gable. These cars had supercharged engines with about 400 horsepower. Ferrari's Colombo V12. You may never have heard of this engine personally, but you already know its sound. The mechanical roar interspersed with small staccato notes is the scream of the old Ferrari V12. And remarkably, almost all 60-degree V12 Ferraris from 1947 to 1988 came into being thanks to the great Gioacchino Colombo. His design was originally intended for use in F1 and had a tiny displacement of 1.5 liters. The pistons were barely 2 inches in diameter. After many changes, it grew to a maximum size of 4.9 liters in the Ferrari 412, but gained fame in the 250 GTO, 365 GTB/4, and many other beautiful models. Mopar Street Hemi. The name Hemi comes from its hemispherical combustion chambers. It is one of the most underrated engines in history. Chrysler chose this design because it allowed for larger valves than usual while still complying with NASCAR's requirement of 2 valves per cylinder. The Hemi was the largest, most expensive, and most powerful Mopar engine of its time. Its intimidating physical size led others to call it the elephant motor. The Hemi had a short life in production cars, lasting only 5 years from 1966 to 1971. Cummins 6BT. The legendary 6BT is one of the most durable passenger car engines ever built. It was released in 1984, but was not used until 1989. This is because the massive 6BT was originally designed for agricultural and construction equipment without much attention to passenger car refinement. Dodge decided that the 6BT would be the perfect engine for its vehicles, starting in 1989. The 6BT has a displacement of 5.9 liters and weighs 500 kilo when assembled. Reinforced with a whole-set turbocharger, its power ranged from 160 to 210 horsepower, depending on the engine variant. Torque ranged from 400 to 440 lb-ft. Built to handle the toughest jobs an engine can handle, the 6BT was designed for 560,000 kilometers of mileage with minimal maintenance, and some have served even longer. Honda B-Series. The Honda B-Series is the engine that started the craze for modifying Honda cars. With 2 syllables, Honda changed humanity's perception of the brand. VTEC. The B-Series was not the company's first or last DOHC-i4, but it was the one that made it popular among car enthusiasts. High-performance versions of the Honda B could be found in the Integra and Civic Type R. The B-Series was installed in the Civic, Del Sol Integra, and other Honda cars. It quickly earned a reputation for impressive fuel economy, ease of maintenance, and long service life. 1959 Chrysler Slant 6. The famous 6-cylinder engine from Chrysler was installed in the 1965 Plymouth Barracuda. The engine is tilted 30 degrees to one side, giving the car an elegant nose. However, the 6-cylinder engine looked rather strange under the hood. Nevertheless, this did not prevent it from winning over crowds of fans.